You've been lied to your entire life, not because women are evil, but because truth in the wrong hands destroys illusions, and illusions are the lifeblood of control. From the time you were a boy, you were taught to be charming, agreeable, and eager to please. You were told that this is what makes women fall for you, but the quiet truth, the one you were never meant to see, is that women are far more drawn to the man they cannot fully possess than the one who hands over his soul on a silver platter. I want you to sit with this. Every time you've been desperate to prove your worth, every time you've over-explained yourself, every time you thought love was about giving more, you were walking deeper into a trap, and she could feel it. Not consciously, perhaps, but deep in her biology, she knew you were no longer a challenge. You were predictable, safe, replaceable. Women will never openly admit this to you because it would shatter the power they have in relationships. If men understood that the strongest leverage they hold is mystery, discipline, and the willingness to walk away, the entire dating game would flip overnight. The chase would reverse, the pedestal would crumble, and the men who carry themselves like emperors would watch women move toward them, not because of wealth or looks alone, but because of something far more intoxicating: uncertainty. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If your thoughts are needy, your presence becomes needy. If your thoughts are centered, scarce, and immovable, your presence commands gravity." This is why a man who values his time, who guards his emotions, and who doesn't reveal his every move, becomes the storm she can't predict. The tragedy is, most men today have been conditioned to do the exact opposite. You overshare on the first date. You text too fast. You reveal your plan. Yes, your feelings, your weaknesses before she's even earned them. You mistake openness for intimacy, and in doing so, you hand her the entire map to your soul without making her work for even a single step. What I'm about to tell you will make some men uncomfortable, but for the few who truly hear it, it will change everything you thought you knew about women. Women are not attracted to the version of you that bends to their will. They're attracted to the version of you that they cannot quite predict, the man whose world is already full without them. And here's the paradox they will never tell you. They crave your attention, but they respect your absence. They want to feel chosen, but they want to believe you could choose differently at any moment. That tension, that unspoken risk, is where attraction thrives. When you reveal too much, too soon, you kill the tension. You give her the end of the movie before the story has even begun. She stops wondering about you, and in the quiet corners of her mind, she starts wondering about someone else. Not because you weren't good enough, but because you became too certain, too safe. Desire feeds on mystery the way fire feeds on oxygen. Remove it, and the flame dies. Marcus Aurelius said, "The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have." When you make her reactions the measure of your worth, you hand over control. You chase her validation, waiting for her replies, adjusting your behavior to please her mood. And slowly, she begins to see you not as the man she must win over, but as the man she has already tamed. And nothing kills attraction faster than taming. You must understand, a woman's silence is often louder than her words. When she takes longer to respond, when she seems distracted, when she tests your patience, she is studying your reaction. Do you remain calm? Do you keep living your life, disturbed? Or do you crumble, flooding her phone with question marks and desperate attempts to pull her back? Your answer in those moments tells her everything about your strength, or lack of it. Men in the modern world think strength is about muscles, money, or dominance. But in reality, strength in the eyes of a woman is the ability to walk away without hesitation. It's the discipline to keep your emotions in check when she tries to stir them. It's the calm awareness that you are the prize and she must invest to keep you. And here's the cruel twist. The moment she senses that you need her more than she needs you, you've already lost. This truth is older than civilization itself. Long before dating apps, long before text messages, long before even the first written words, human relationships were shaped by survival. A woman's instincts, the ones that still drive her today, were forged in a world where security meant life and uncertainty meant excitement. The men who could provide both were irresistible. Here's the part no one dares to say out loud. Women hide their desire for mystery and scarcity because if men understood it fully, men would stop over-investing. And if men stopped over-investing, women would lose a subtle but powerful form of control. They would no longer be able to dictate the pace, to test without consequence, to keep men orbiting while they make their choice. Think about it. The man who knows this truth and lives by it doesn't orbit anyone. He doesn't sit in her inbox waiting for her attention like a puppy at the door. He doesn't adjust his schedule because she might be free tonight. He is not cruel, but he is unmoved by emotional games. And in that steadiness, she feels something she cannot create on her own, the pull of wanting what she cannot fully have. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Women, consciously or not, will throw outside events at you, delays, mood swings, inconsistencies, to see if your inner world bends. If it bends easily, he may still enjoy your company, but she will not feel the deep, burning pull that comes from respecting a man's immovable center. It's why she might flirt with a man at work who barely notices her. Why she might think about the one who ghosted her years ago more than the man who's been loyal for months. The harsh reality is, attention that is freely and constantly given loses its value. Attention that must be earned becomes priceless. This is not about playing games. It's about living in such a way that your attention is naturally scarce because your life is full. When you do that, she feels the same thing men have felt for centuries about the rarest treasures, the urge to pursue, to earn, to protect. And she will never admit this to you directly, because the moment you fully understand it, the game as she knows it is over. Most men don't lose a woman because of one big mistake. They lose her through a slow erosion of mystery. One small act of overexposure at a time. It starts with little things. Texting her the moment she crosses your mind, telling her every detail of your day, explaining your decisions to her as if you need her permission. You think you're being honest and loving, but in her subconscious, you're signaling that she already owns you. And when something is fully owned, it's no longer chased. You kill the spark when you make yourself too easy to read. Humans, by nature, are drawn to puzzles, to things that require effort to understand. If she knows exactly where you are, what you're doing, and how you feel at every moment, she doesn't have to think about you. And when she doesn't have to think about you, she doesn't crave you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe." A man in harmony with himself does not broadcast his every thought to gain approval. He speaks when it's necessary, not to faire. Il silence. He reveals himself slowly, allowing her to discover him like a book she can't stop reading, not a manual she skims through in one sitting. Understand this. Women are deeply emotional creatures, but their attraction is rooted in challenge and respect. When you eliminate the challenge, when you place your heart in her hands without requiring her to earn it, she may still love you, but she will not hunger for you. The difference is everything. Watch how quickly interest fades when you rearrange your life to always be available. Notice how her tone shifts when you cancel your plans for her, how she starts to test you more when you answer every message instantly. She's not doing this because she hates you. She's doing it because she's trying to feel something, and your constant availability dulls the very feeling she's searching for. The tragedy is that most men think being less available is rude, cold, or manipulative. But the truth is, it's not about withholding out of spite. It's about having a life so rich and disciplined that you simply can't be available all the time. That's the life of a man who is naturally desirable and impossible to fully possess. If you've already given too much away, don't panic. Power can be rebuilt, but it requires a shift so deep that she feels it without you ever having to announce it. You cannot talk your way back into mystery. You cannot text your way back into respect. This is not about sending mixed signals. It's about becoming the kind of man whose life is too valuable to be centered on any one person. The first step is withdrawal, not in anger, but in purpose. You begin redirecting the energy you've been pouring into her back into yourself. You stop explaining every move. You stop being the first to text. You start living in a way that creates natural gaps in her access to you. Those gaps are where curiosity is born again. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." In this case, stop debating how to make her respect you. Instead, become the man she can't help but respect, disciplined, selective, and driven. Fill your schedule with things that sharpen you: the gym, your craft, your mission. Spend time with people who elevate you, not drain you. When she notices your absence, do not rush to explain it. Let her feel the shift. When she asks why you're busy, simply tell her you've been working on things, and leave it there. The less you reveal, the more her mind will fill in the blanks. Remember, mystery is not created by lying. It's created by living a life that cannot be fully known from the outside. And here's the hard truth. Some women will resist this change. They will accuse you of being distant. They will try to pull you back into the old pattern. This is a test, and you must pass it. If you crumble at the first sign of discomfort, you'll confirm that your strength was only an act. In time, the right woman will respond to this shift not with resentment, but with renewed pursuit. She will lean in because she feels something she hasn't felt in months, maybe years, the thrill of uncertainty. And that, more than any sweet words or constant attention, is what keeps her truly interested. Here's the truth most men will never accept. Women are not drawn to your devotion. They're drawn to your value. Devotion without value is desperation, and desperation is repulsive. You can love her with everything you have, but if she senses that you have nothing left for yourself, the very thing you think will keep her will be the thing that drives her away. This is why so many good guys lose to men they think are worse than them. The so-called bad guy isn't necessarily more handsome or richer. He's simply harder to get. His time is scarce. His attention is selective. He lives in a world where she must continually earn her place, and that effort keeps her invested. The good guy, on the other hand, lays himself at her feet without asking for anything in return. In doing so, he removes the need for her to work for his affection, and with no work, there's no value. Marcus Aurelius said, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." Most men aren't living. They're orbiting, circling the woman they desire, hoping she'll see their worth. But worth is not declared, it is demonstrated. And it is demonstrated in the way you carry yourself, the boundaries you uphold, the discipline you maintain. The bitter reality is that the less of yourself you give away freely, the more you are valued. It sounds cold because you've been conditioned to believe love is about giving endlessly. But human nature doesn't care about your conditioning. Human nature is built on scarcity and desire. And the man who understands that who lives it without bitterness, without resentment, becomes the man women chase, admire, and cling to. You are not here to be her entertainment, her therapist, or her emotional sponge. You are here to build a life so compelling, so full, so disciplined, that anyone who wants to be part of it must rise to meet your standard. That is the quiet power of the Stoic man. He does not brag, he does not chase, and he does not bend. If you take one thing from this, let it be this. Your greatest leverage is not in the love you give, but in the life you protect. Guard it, value it, and you will never again wonder why she can't stop thinking about you.